in the silent heart of the mountain forest, where mist clings to the earth like whispered secrets, a weathered thatched house stands, its roof draped in soft tendrils of pale smoke. The faint crackle of the kitchen fire weaves a tale of old sorrows. Within its humble walls, the quiet pain of an aging mother gnaws at the passage of time, while a young woman, Tukai, clutches a fragile hope for her wayward cousin, whose heart has grown cold. This story begins not with tears, but with silence, a silence heavy with familial love, regret, and unfulfilled promises. It is not merely a search for a lost soul, but a journey to anchor a drifting spirit, a belief that no matter how far one strays, family remains the harbor to return to. In the quiet heart of the mountain forest, where mist clings to the earth like a whispered secret, faint light seeps through the splintered, weathered slats of a thatched house. The air carries the heavy scent of wood smoke, curling around the earthy aroma of yams simmering on a low fire, their warmth battling the chill of dawn. Batam sits at a table worn smooth by years of use, her frail hands trembling as if burdened by invisible weights. Her eyes, clouded with sorrow, trace the grain of the wood, lost in memories. How could a mother fail to guide her child, to let him fall so far? Her voice cracks, a fragile thread breaking, echoing the cold wind's mournful wail through the bamboo grove outside, where leaves shiver in the early light. Tukai stands near the hearth, the fire's glow dancing across her face, casting fleeting shadows that mirror the turmoil within. Batam's pain ripples through her, a tide of shared grief. She speaks softly, her voice a gentle anchor. Bun isn't bad, Ba. Friends led him astray. I believe he'll find his way back. Her words are a fragile spark, daring to pierce the gloom that blankets the room. She watches the flames, their crackle a faint defiance against the silence, her heart heavy with the weight of hope. Batam exhales, a sigh that carries the sting of old wounds. Memories of her son, Vun, cut like a blade, sharp and unrelenting. Where is he now? Does he even spare a thought for us? Her voice quivers, eyes glistening as tears threaten to spill. Tukai steps forward, her hand resting lightly on the older woman's shoulder, a gesture of quiet strength. I'll find Vun. I'll show him. Family is always a harbor to return to. Her resolve burns steady, though the path ahead feels as treacherous as the fog-shrouded trails beyond the village. The kitchen is a cocoon of warmth, yet the air grows heavy, oppressive. A distant rooster crows, its call slicing through the stillness, a reminder that time presses forward, indifferent to their pain. Tukai stirs the porridge, steam rising in delicate tendrils, but it cannot thaw the cold knot in her chest. Outside, the forest looms, its silence broken only by the wind's hiss through the door's cracks, whispering of a storm yet to come. She clenches her fists, her eyes alight with determination, a solitary flame against the encroaching dark. The journey to find Vun begins, fragile as an oil lamp flickering in the vast, unyielding night of the mountain wilderness, yet resolute, refusing to be snuffed out. The next morning, the oil lamp's faint glow persists in the thatched kitchen, casting trembling shadows on the rough-hewn walls. Steam from the porridge pot swirls, catching the light, and reflects on Tuki's face, where resolve battles a gnawing worry. She wipes the table, her movements deliberate, grounding herself against the uncertainty ahead. I have to find Vun today, Ba. I fear he'll sink deeper into trouble. she says, her voice soft but unwavering, a quiet vow. Batam, mending a tattered shirt, pauses, her hands stilling. Her eyes, heavy with concern, meet two keys. Going alone unsettles me, child. Vun's stubborn, hard to reach. Tukai offers a faint smile, fragile, yet filled with faith. I believe the love of family can change his heart. Batam sits motionless, then speaks, her voice a low murmur of pain. This house, it's not ours anymore. The old one was taken. Vun's recklessness cost us everything. Her words are a cold gust, echoing the wind that sweeps the dirt path outside, where bamboo creaks in a mournful rhythm. Tukai's heart twists, the weight of their loss pressing against her chest. Yet she clenches her fists, her voice steady. Everyone can start anew, Ba. I'll bring Vun home. Batam nods, her eyes burdened with unspoken fears. Be careful, child. Don't let his choices wound you. They share a bowl of steaming porridge, the faint scent of a neighbor's pomelo drifting through the open window, a fleeting sweetness in the heavy air. Distant dogs bark, their cries sharp, hinting at unrest. Tukai rises, tying a scarf around her head, her eyes burning like a lone ember in the morning mist. I promise to bring Vun back, she says, her voice a quiet oath. Batam grips her hand, her voice trembling. I trust you, but my heart trembles. Outside, the afternoon sun paints the narrow dirt path in hues of blood red, a stark omen guiding Tukai into a journey fraught with uncertainty, where hope and peril walk hand in hand. On a weathered wooden bridge spanning the murky river, thick fog cloaks the world, as if to swallow it whole. The wind slices through the slats, cold and biting, tugging at their clothes. Tukai steadies Batam as they move cautiously, their steps echoing on the creaking wood. They see Vun, gaunt and hollow-eyed, standing alone at the bridge's center, a solitary figure against the mist. Batam hurries forward, her voice breaking like brittle glass. Vun, come home. We'll help pay your debts. But Vun turns away, his tone icy. Go home, mother. No money, no return. His words cut deep, a wound that leaves Batam trembling, tears streaming down her weathered cheeks. Tuki grips her hand, her heart aching as if caught in the river's current. Go home, Ba. Let me speak to him, she says, her voice firm, eyes alight despite the suffocating air. Batam, voice cracking, pleads, be careful, don't let Vun hurt you, before shuffling away, her hunched form fading into the misty bamboo grove, lost in the blood-red glow of the setting sun. Tukai remains alone on the bridge, the wind stinging her skin, the weight of the moment pressing down. Vun, her voice trembles. Don't you see their suffering? He pauses, his eyes wavering like ripples on disturbed water, but he remains silent. The bridge quakes faintly, a tremor of unease rippling through the fog. At the village's edge, shadowed figures lurk in a narrow alley, their voices cold as steel. Vun's dodging his debts. Find him, or he'll pay the price. The creditors press him into dangerous work to erase a 20 million debt, their threats punctuated by the harsh laughter of his toxic friends echoing like crows in the twilight. From the bridge, Tukai hears nothing, seeing only Vun's forlorn silhouette drift toward the darkness, drawn back to the abyss. She stands frozen, her heart pounding, every muscle taut, as if bound by invisible chains. The bridge trembles beneath her, the fog warping the world into a dreamlike haze. She longs to cry out, "Don't go with them, Vun." but her voice catches, choked by the mist's oppressive grip. In the distance, bamboo rattles under the strengthening wind, a warning of unseen peril. The sky shifts to a somber gray, heavy with the promise of a storm. Lytuca senses danger closing in, though its shape remains elusive, only the emptiness in Vun's gaze revealing the truth. A lost soul adrift in a tempest. She turns away, her resolve unbroken, a silent vow burning within. No matter how far Vun wanders, she will pull him back at any cost. The afternoon settles over the village, bathed in the wan golden light of day's end. The sky, a quiet blue, stretches above, while bamboo groves cast long shadows along the river, their leaves rustling as a gentle breeze carries the scent of the countryside through verdant trees. The riverbank where Lytuca stands seems peaceful, yet within her heart storm clouds gather, heavy with unspoken fears. Lytuca faces Vun on the earthen bank, the air thick with misty haze. Their eyes meet, hers resolute, his wavering. The breeze tugs at her thin clothing, sending a shiver through her, but her feet remain rooted, unwavering. Her voice rises, gentle yet firm. Don't you see how much they're suffering? They don't need money or success. They just need you home to know you're still alive. Vun stands still. After a long pause, he lowers his head, voice choked. I can't. I've let them down too much. I don't know how to go back. Lytuca steps closer, her eyes stern but not accusing, brimming with earnest plea. No one expects you to return as if nothing happened. Just take one step, and your family will do the rest. Vun says nothing. He gazes toward the horizon, where the sun dips behind a bamboo, leaving a blazing red-orange streak, vibrant yet melancholic. He stands at a crossroads, one path cloaked in familiar darkness, the other leading home, a road he lacks the courage to tread. Lytuca extends her hand, a gesture to salvage what remains in his heart. But Vun only looks, then turns away, shoulders trembling slightly. I need more time, he whispers. She freezes, her hand still outstretched in the air. Pain cuts through her like a blade, yet her eyes stay fixed on him. A flicker of hope persists, defiant against the encroaching shadows. Lytuca lingers as Vun walks toward the creditor's lair. The afternoon breeze turns sharp, no longer gentle. The leaves clash, their rustle like the earth's weary sigh. The river remains calm, but within her, a silent whirlpool churns. She turns, her steps heavy, returning to the familiar thatched house, nestled under a sprawling pomelo tree. In the kitchen, the oil lamp casts flickering shadows on the weathered wooden walls, mirroring her restless heart. Lytuca sits at the table, hands resting lightly on its worn surface. Across from her, Batam tends the fire, the aroma of simmering porridge mingling with the sharp tang of wood smoke, stinging Lytuca's eyes. I saw Vun Ba, she says softly, voice low. He knows he's wrong, but he's not strong enough to come back yet. Batam looks up, her aged eyes clouded yet glinting with faint hope. She clutches her sleeve, whispering, without you, I wouldn't know what to do. You're the only one he'll still see. Lytuca shakes her head, lips pressed tight, then offers a faint, bittersweet smile. If you and Ong hadn't taken me in years ago, I'd have nowhere to go. This is my home too. I won't give up on him. They share a bowl of hot porridge. The scent of pomelo blossoms from a neighbor's yard, drifting through the thinning smoke, softening the heavy air. In that moment, Lytuca thinks Vun may not return today, But as long as someone waits, someone believes, the path home remains, long and shrouded in mist, but real. Batam rests a hand on her shoulder, squeezing gently, and says slowly, "No matter his mistakes, if he comes back, I'll forgive him." Tukai nods, eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "I believe one day he'll find the courage." A rooster crows faintly in the distance, piercing the quiet. The sky outside darkens, afternoon mist settling over the tiled roof and trees. But in that small kitchen, a flame burns, small yet steady. It's family, it's hope. Tuki returns through the twilight
Yên
haze,
trong căn nhà mộc mạc
carrying
lặng
an
lẽ ấy,
unfinished
nhưng sự
promise
bình
and a heart
nhưng sự
brimming with love.
Tử Kỳ, một cô gái trẻ bị thương được một cặp vợ chồng già sống lâu trong rừng cưu mang. Dù không nói được, cô vẫn dần tìm thấy sự yên bình trong căn nhà mộc mạc lặng lẽ ấy. Nhưng sự yên ổn chẳng kéo dài bao lâu. Một đêm, tiếng chuông điện thoại vang lên phá vỡ bầu không khí tĩnh mịch, và cô nhận ra rằng ai đó từ quá khứ kinh hoàng của mình vẫn đang theo dõi cô, gần hơn cô từng nghĩ. Một người đàn ông bí ẩn xuất hiện trước cửa, ánh mắt lạ lùng của hắn khiến cô run lẩy bẩy tận đáy lòng. Nhưng bên trong cô, điều gì đó bắt đầu thay đổi. Cô không còn là cô gái yếu đuối. Tử Kỳ bắt đầu lột xác. Cô cảm nhận từng cơn bão chưa hề tan, và mới chỉ quay trở lại. Và lần này cô